Let's get right into it. The tech world is just moving at a wild pace, right? And trying to figure out where to focus your career, well, it can feel like a lot. So today, we're going to cut through all that noise and give you a really clear, actionable roadmap to the skills that are going to matter most in 2026. So here's our game plan. We'll start with the big picture, what the 2026 tech roadmap even looks like. Then we'll dive into the essential skills, the ones you absolutely have to have. After that, we'll explore the crazy growth happening in AI and take a peek at the deep tech that's going to shape the next decade. And finally, we'll tie it all together so you can build a career that's truly future-proof. All right, first up, the 2026 tech roadmap. Let's just set the stage a bit. What is the tech landscape actually going to look like in a couple of years? And that's the big question, isn't it? It feels like there's a new framework or some groundbreaking new tech announced every single week. But here's the thing, the key isn't to learn everything. That's impossible. It's to focus on the huge foundational shifts that are reshaping entire industries, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, the most important thing to get about this slide is that these aren't just separate trends, they are all feeding into each other. It's like a cycle, right? You have AI-native systems that drive this hyper-automation, which all runs on these massive multi-cloud ecosystems. And all of that is only possible because of next-gen computing. This interconnected world, that's the new normal. Okay, so with that big picture in mind, let's start building our foundation. These are the skills that are completely non-negotiable. This is the bedrock of any tech career today. First up, cloud and reliability. I mean, come on, pretty much everything runs in the cloud now, and usually it's not just one cloud, but across multiple providers like AWS, Azure, and GCP. That's exactly why mastering tools like Kubernetes, which helps you manage all your apps in these things called containers, and Terraform, which lets you automate your infrastructure setup, is so incredibly critical. And as these systems get bigger and more complex, being able to keep them online and running smoothly, well, that's a discipline we call Site Reliability Engineering, or SRE, and it's easily one of the most valuable skills you can have. Next up in our core stack, you guessed it, data and security. On the security side, we're moving away beyond old-school firewalls. We're talking about concepts like zero trust, which is basically a never trust, always verify policy for every single request. And then in the world of data, whoa, there's a revolution happening. These new open formats like Apache Iceberg and Delta Lake are making it so much easier and cheaper to manage insane amounts of data. Think of it like a super efficient next-gen filing system for big data. These skills are absolutely essential because every single company needs to protect its stuff and make sense of its data. Period. All right, foundation is solid. Now let's get to the really exciting part, the high-growth frontier. This is where the most mind-blowing career opportunities are just exploding right now, and it is all about AI. Now this slide right here shows the real game changer, the evolution of AI. We're moving so far beyond simple assistants that just do what you tell them. The future is all about what we're calling agentic AI. These are autonomous systems that can actually plan, they can execute really complex tasks, and they can even self-correct along the way. Understanding this progression is everything, because this is the engine that's going to drive that hyper-automation we talked about in every single industry. And this slide just nails the biggest shift happening in the AI industry. For a while, it was all about building a cool model in a lab, but that's not the game anymore. The real challenge, and honestly the massive opportunity, is in what we call operationalizing AI. It means actually deploying, monitoring, and managing these models reliably out in the real world. This whole field is called LLM Ops, for Large Language Model Operations, and it is one of the hottest areas in tech right now. So this big shift, it's creating totally new career paths. On one side, you've got the full-stack AI developer. This is the person who builds the entire experience, from the button you click in an app all the way to the AI brain that responds. Then, on the other side, you've got the GPU cloud engineers. I like to call them the unsung heroes who manage these huge fleets of specialized computer chips that are really the horsepower behind all of this AI magic. Okay. Let's push the timeline out just a little bit. For all of you who really want to be on the bleeding edge, let's explore some of the specialized, deep tech fields that are going to define the next decade of innovation. So first up, we have digital twins. This is some next-level stuff. Imagine creating a perfect one-to-one virtual replica of a jet engine, or a factory floor, or hey, even an entire city. You can run simulations, test out changes, and see what happens in the virtual world before you ever touch the real physical object. This is a huge piece of what people are starting to call Industry 5.0. And then there's this, a topic that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but believe me, it is becoming very real. Post-quantum cryptography. The deal is, as quantum computers get more and more powerful, they'll eventually be able to break all of our current encryption. So the race is on to develop totally new algorithms that can actually protect our data in a post-quantum world. And look, the innovation is just accelerating everywhere you look. We're seeing it in robotics that can see and adapt to their surroundings, in edge computing that brings AI down to tiny little devices like sensors, and even in how blockchain is evolving beyond just crypto into things like secure digital identity. Each one of these is a deep, fascinating field with just massive potential. Okay, wow, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's pull all of this together into a simple, clear roadmap that you can actually use to guide your learning. And yeah, build a future-proof career. So here it is. This is how you can think about your own learning journey. First, make sure your essential core skills are rock solid. That's your foundation. Then you can specialize in the frontier tech. That's where all the high-growth jobs are today. And to really stay ahead of the curve, you got to keep an eye on that emerging deep tech. Look, you don't have to be an expert in everything, but just understanding this stack gives you a really powerful map for your career. So, there you have it, a clear path through the technologies that are going to define the next few years. The opportunities out there are absolutely massive, and now the roadmap is in your hands. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build with it?